I have something perfect for Halloween, especially for parents who are trying to feed their kids something a little, we'll say healthy, but we'll see exactly how healthy it is. It's
Okay.
pickles and Pop Rocks. I'm sure a lot of people remember the little Pop Rock candy. Mix it with pickles for an absolutely incredible Halloween treat. So you take a pickle, you can use any kind of pickle you like, dill, whatever you have,
What kind
whatever's
of pickles
cheapest.
do we
These are
have
dill
here?
pickles.
Oh, dill,
but
perfect.
They were
Okay,
the
yeah.
cheapest in the store,
Okay,
so we
okay.
picked those. And you get your favorite Pop Rock candy. They come in other flavors, but this one is strawberry because it's my favorite.
Okay.
And you bite off the top of the pickle and kind of hollow out a little bit of the inside.
Yeah.
And put some of the pickles, or the Pop Rocks, on the pickle.
Oh, it's very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
It does
You
look
can already
like
hear it
Christmas.
popping a little bit.
Okay.
And then you take a bite. And I'm
Okay,
going to have
okay.
you do it.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God, my mouth is exploding. I feel like my head's gonna fall off.
That's the point. I couldn't think of anything crazier, and I figured you'd be the perfect person to demonstrate this.
Does this kill people? Oh my God, it's still like popping. It's popping like inside my ears and outside my ears and then my whole head. I feel like I'm like
Happy
in this little
Halloween.
bubble. Nick, you have to try it. This is like, I think, the craziest of all crazy. I'm still popping. It's like I can't get rid of it.
Live on tape from Capture Production Studios in beautiful downtown Bridgeville, it's Consumer Sense with Dr. Audrey Gusky. Here to make sense of it all, Audrey Gusky.
Welcome to Consumer Sense. I'm Dr. Audrey Gusky. This week we have lots of treats and a few tricks for you because we're focusing on Halloween. As you can see, we're in a pumpkin patch here with all of the kids. We're going to give you some tips and ideas about how to save money when you're decorating your home. We're going to talk to you about the top 10 Halloween costumes. We're going to give you some really crazy concoctions that include a lot of Halloween ideas. We are also going to talk to you about zombies. Oh yes, Iron City Innovations this week is talking about zombies. Did you know they were born in Pittsburgh? We're also going to talk about, for Mo's Marketing Minute, Facebook. And, oh yes, MySpace. It has resurrected. So back from the dead is MySpace. We also have two senior sleuths with us, and they're going to talk about some treats you can get as far as a free meal, but also make sure you're not tricked by some of the financial programs that are being offered. All this and more on this week's Consumer Sense. What do you have for us?
I have the magic wand, which is simply a pretzel stick, and then you can dip it in the icing or spread it on, because sometimes it breaks if you just dip it. So you simply just spread it on the top as much as you want.
Well, that's sort of cool.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? Just dip it in?
You can either dip it in the sprinkles if you have a large container, or sprinkle it on.
Well, let's do a little bit of each on this one.
Sprinkle it on.
Let's make this one a crazy one. And so it's a nice treat for everyone,
Yeah.
for adults or for kids.
Yeah. There you go.
That's beautiful.
A little Halloween magic. I hear you have a really interesting, crazy concoction, and it seems like it's pretty simple.
I do, and it is very simple. Anyone can do it. All right, so what you'll do is you'll take a Nutter Butter,
Okay.
just a normal Nutter Butter cookie, and just slap icing all over it. Okay?
You can probably even have people do this during the Halloween party if you wanted.
Exactly.
They can make their own.
Very simple.
I can see you're really good at this too.
Not quite. Okay, and then after you get the Nutter Butter Ghost,
Okay.
you take an icing pen and just
Okay.
put whatever design you want on it.
So like little eyes and a little smile because it's a happy ghost, I guess, or scary ghost.
Or Scary Ghost.
Scary ghost.
Scary
It's, yeah, he's saying
works.
boo, I think.
Right, right.
Okay.
First, all I did was make the regular Rice Krispie treat, added a little orange food coloring to it to make the orange tint, to make it look like a
Yes,
pumpkin.
They do look tinted.
But they're not just a Rice Krispie treat. On the inside, there is a bite-sized piece of candy. You can pick whatever kind you want. There's a Hershey bar, one of them, Snickers,
Yeah.
or Fast Break. And then the top I made out of Sour Patch little pieces of candy to make little stems, and
Yeah.
then just used orange gel icing to make it look like there's leaves coming off of them.
That is
Pretty simple.
really, really cool. I love them. So you really don't know what kind of candy you're getting. It's like a,
Yeah, and
treat?
one of them doesn't even have candy in it, so
oh, so that could be the
that
trick.
could be the, yes, exactly, trick or treat.
Yeah, I love it. On woohoo! It's like still popping.
We'll always be home.
Sports.
I actually have neighbors that I talk to instead of Boston.
Go Pens. It's everything.
The new mango one is it. It's really good. It's really good, nice and sweet.
Mom and Dad are probably watching it.
I drank it the first time it came out, and I've been drinking it ever since.
Man, I love Iron City. You got to support your own city. I lived here all my life.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts.
Marysville, Pennsylvania. Washington, PA.
Shadyside.
Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, man.
Attention all homeowners and contractors. Get the job done right with Federoach Landscape Supply. They're Western Pennsylvania's leading supplier of topsoils, bark mulch, natural stone, gravel, even recycled tire mulch. Call Federoach Landscape Supply at 1-800-TOPSOIL.
Ask Audrey. So Audrey, one of our viewers sent in this email. She writes, most of my neighbors have decorated their homes for Halloween, and I'm invited to a few Halloween parties this year. I was wondering, how big of a holiday is Halloween? And I've spent a lot of money for Halloween. How much do most people spend?
Very good question, especially this time of year. Halloween is a booming business. You've got $6.9 billion being spent, predicted to be spent this year. And if you look at from last year, it was $5.8 billion. That's a huge difference. Halloween spending has doubled since 2005. That is incredible. And considering the really, really tough economy that we're having, I think that retailers are welcoming this, and it's really not a spooky holiday for them, but it's really, in a sense, a merry holiday. We've got consumers out there spending $2.5 billion for costumes, which includes $1.2 billion on adult costumes, $1 billion on kids' costumes, and about $500 million on, can you believe it, pets as well. And if you look at candy, about $2 billion is being spent on candy, and $1.88 billion is being spent on decorations. So you add all that together, and that's a tremendous amount of spending for consumers out there for Halloween. If you ask consumers, are you going to celebrate Halloween? 7 out of 10 consumers are saying yes, they will, which is up by about 64% from last year. That's huge. So adults are dressing up for Halloween. They're having parties. They're decorating their house. Lots of spending. But they have been asked, are you cutting back from last year? And some consumers are being a little bit more cautious. So what they're doing is making their own costumes, or they're using the costumes from last year, or they're getting the candy on sale, or unfortunately, somebody's buying those little fun bars, which are no fun because they're so tiny. But that's what we're looking at for this Halloween.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Ask Audrey.
This week's Iron City Innovation looks at the zombie capital of the world, Pittsburgh. Zombies were somewhat a regular appearance in horror flicks since the 1930s, but it was CMU graduate George Romero's Night of the Living Dead that forever established the mannerisms, appearance, and behavior of the modern-day zombie and put Pittsburgh on the map as the real zombie nation. Shot in 1968, the low-budget film became an instant cult classic and led to sequels such as Dawn of the Dead, which was shot almost exclusively at the Monroeville Mall in 1978. Since then, Pittsburgh has been the first choice for zombie enthusiasts across the world and has embraced the fact by hosting such events as the yearly Zombie Fest at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. To this day, people still gather at the mall to celebrate Romero's films and to revel in Pittsburgh's zombie mania. In fact, in 2006, 894 people gathered at the Monroeville Mall to set the world record for the largest zombie walk ever recorded. When asked about Pittsburgh's status as the zombie capital, zombie filmmaker Chris Ivey of Squirrel Hill claims that it's one of the things that you're taught from birth. First, you're wrapped in a terrible towel, and then when you learn to walk, you learn the zombie walk. All of the zombie hype and history in the Pittsburgh area has earned the city the name Zombie Town, USA, among Hollywood filmmakers. And that's this week's Iron City Innovations. Iron City, a beautiful and simple concept as well. Iron City invented the first snap top can, the first aluminum can, and the first light beer. Revolutionary inventions in packaging and products. That same creative spirit continues to drive them today. Try their new Icy Light Mango. Now there's an innovation. So Mike, it's a beautiful afternoon and things are really hopping at Market Square. What's some of the new development that's happening here?
One of the best things that's happened over the last probably 18 months to 24 is we've been able to bring a ton of new businesses in. So we've got a burger joint, we've got a New Orleans joint, we've got a wing place, we've got Moe's, burritos are abundant. And just all of the merchants are working together. We're creating an environment that always has entertainment, has great food. We're the place to be.
That's great. Now tell us about some of the events. I know you have something coming up.
We do. We've got the World Zombie Day Zombie Walk, and we'll have over 6,000 people in whiteface with fake blood and in full zombie mode in character. And they'll have brain eating contests and loudest scream and ugliest bride. And at the very end of the event, everybody walks together. And Guinness Book of World Records will actually be here to verify that this is the largest collection of zombies that has ever occurred.
Something that Pittsburgh can be very, very proud.
Very, very proud.
Will always be home.
Sports.
I actually have neighbors that I talk to instead of Boston.
Go Pens. It's everything.
The new mango one is it? It's really good. It's really good, nice and sweet.
Mom and Dad are probably watching it.
I drank it the first time it came out, and I've been drinking it ever since.
Man, I love Iron City. You got to support your own city. I lived here all my life.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts.
Marysville, Pennsylvania. Washington, PA.
Shadyside.
Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, man.
What are you doing?
Tooling around.
On a day like today?
No, I'm tooling around.
Does your workshop look like this? Need some tools for an extra special project? Are you a professional sick of paying high prices from the superstores? Then come to Toolin' Around in the heart of beautiful downtown Bridgeville. If you're looking to buy a quality used tool or need fast cash, then come on down to Toolin' Around. Come on down to Toolin' Around.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, and that's the battle cry of two local seniors, Sluice. And they have been working with the AARP to try to uncover some really unfair practices being presented by different financial organizations. With us today is Len and Mary Bach, and they have made national news, and they're here to share some of the things that they've found and some of the things they've uncovered. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Len. Thank you, Mary. Len, please tell us, how did you get involved with this?
Well, when I retired in 2005, one of the things Mary let me know was there's no lunches served. That was not part of the wedding vows. Also, Mary's a very busy lady. Cooking she's terrific, but dinners out, those are preferable. And so this program was ideal for us. Free lunches, free dinners. She didn't have to cook. She didn't have to make me lunches. It was perfect.
So then, Mary, what ended up being the problem?
Well, AARP partnered with the Pennsylvania Securities Commission to go undercover, basically, with a senior sleuth program to see what really goes on at these free meal opportunities. And we get invitations in the mail from people who are selling retirement plans or financial planners who want to put together some type of portfolio for us. We also get invitations from people who are saying that we can lower our utility bills, and there have also been dinners with people who claim that somebody can get off diabetes medicines, and my husband is a diabetic. So all of these things have appealed to us because we know that in the marketplace there are a lot of scams as well as legitimate companies that are selling various services and products. Yeah. So we accepted a lot of invitations, and we have had some very interesting experiences during the dinners, and then when we invite the people to come to our home to have a follow-up visit to tell us what they are really offering.
What types of things have you uncovered?
Well, one thing I'd like to mention is that we are very active volunteers for AARP, and we were talking about frauds and scams and things like this all the time, so we knew we would learn something. AARP teamed with the Pennsylvania Securities Commission about 4 years ago. Oddly enough, they had a program about senior sleuths, and AARP, our people on our task force, were perfect for getting those messages out and for going to free dinners. So that's how it came to us. But we were still personally investigating these things because I was in retirement and I wanted to know what I should do about planning and things like this. So the personal interest, the fact that we could give the information we learned to AARP, that was our motivation.
And you have received national notoriety because there was a write-up about you in Money Magazine, and it's called Keep the Sharks at Bay. Tell us about this.
Well, it was most interesting. They were looking for people who were quite knowledgeable about these dinner invitations, and through AARP in the national office, they knew of our activities, and so they referred the reporter to us. And Lisa Gibbs, who wrote the article, interviewed us numerous times over the telephone, and then the most fun, they actually sent a stylist, a groomer, a photographer, and a photographer's assistant to our home one weekend, and they literally spent hours and hours taking photographs of us, and one of them is actually in the magazine article.
How fun that is. It's always great to be pampered. Now, what kind of tips can you give to seniors as far as, if they're invited to some of these luncheons or dinners, should they go and what should they look out for?
Yeah, our byword is go for the meal. Don't necessarily make a deal, okay? Because many of them, and we would say the great majority, are legitimate. And I can tell you all the hitches and the pitches we've learned and a whole bunch of other things. But if you don't get a good meal, are you going to do business with someone? I don't think so. So they're all very, very good. And the pitches are all very similar because they want to gain your trust for the all-important second meeting, which is the one that occurs in either your home or their office. And that's where they really let you know what they're selling. At the dinner, it's very, very saccharine. It's very plain. It's very laid back and casual. Again, they're looking to gain your trust. And they tell you about things you should be concerned about, like estate, you're being taxed on your estate when you pass away, the fact that you may have a medical problem that's going to drain your living expenses. You'll become a pauper if you're not protected, if you don't have the right investments. So that sort of scare tactic says, maybe I ought to look into this, maybe I ought to have that second meeting. And that's really what they're after, that second meeting. And that's when you find out what the hitch in the pitch is.
We actually went to one dinner and made an appointment with the gentleman who had given the dinner, and he came to our home, and over our kitchen table, he asked us for $100,000. This was a pure scam. He did not have any kind of contract or prospectus to offer us when my husband asked him for it, and he said, "You just write me a check for $100,000 and we'll figure out the details later." And that's a major hitch that was in that pitch. And let me tell you, we were concerned about other people who went to that same dinner and maybe fell for whatever it was he was selling. There are a lot of legitimate people who are selling various types of financial planning tools or retirement items. The thing about them is that it's not necessarily suitable for the people they're selling them to. There are often big commissions involved or commissions on top of commissions, and as a result, you may not be getting a good deal because those products may not be suitable for you and your circumstances. So consumers really do need to ask a lot of questions and do their due diligence, their homework, to make sure that they are not being ripped off. Don't ever make a deal right on the spot. You need to step away from it. You need to show it to other people, possibly your children or a trusted friend or neighbor, and let them look at it to see if in fact it's going to be a good product for you.
Thank you so much for all these wise words. Very great advice to seniors and to everyone, to all of our viewers. We appreciate all the good work that you do. Please keep up the good work. Len and Mary Bach, thank you for joining us on Consumer Sense.
Thank you.
We'll always be home.
Sports.
I actually have neighbors that I talk to instead of Boston.
Go Pens. It's everything.
The new mango one is it. It's really good. It's really good, nice and sweet.
Mom and Dad are probably watching.
I drank it the first time it came out, and I've been drinking it ever since.
Man, I love Iron City. You got to support your own city. I lived here all my life.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts.
Marysville, Pennsylvania. Washington, PA.
Shadyside.
Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, man.
What are you doing? Tooling around. On a day like today?
No, tooling around.
Does your workshop look like this? Need some tools for an extra special project? Are you a professional sick of paying high prices from the superstores? Then come to Toolin' Around in the heart of beautiful downtown Bridgeville. If you're looking to buy a quality used tool or need fast cash, then come on down to Toolin' Around. Come on down to Toolin' Around.
We've heard recently that Saks is going to be closing. What do you think that's going to do to downtown retail? Are you going to be upset about this?
The downtown retail, I don't think will be terribly affected. I mean, there are a lot of people are going to Macy's anyhow. I don't hear about too many people going to Saks. I think it's too expensive. I personally don't care about Saks closing. Macy's would be another story.
Sandy, what do you think?
I'm very disappointed. Saks is part of Pittsburgh. When people used to come downtown and shop, I think that's going away. Nobody comes downtown to shop anymore. It's going to turn into a business district, and I can't wait for their sale.
Honestly, I haven't shopped at Saks, but I really think it's a deterrent to the city. There's nowhere left to shop. If you try to go out on lunch and buy somebody a gift, there's nowhere to go. Macy's, that's it. And now they're downsizing also. You know, that's when I do all my shopping, is at lunch.
Well, it's going to affect me because I like to go there on my lunch hour, but I'm hoping that it reopens somewhere close by.
Well, you know, they have outlets in the Tanger outlets. Have you ever gone out there?
I have gone out there, but it's a little bit of a different experience.
So now what are you going to do?
I'll probably just shop online.
I think it's going to be a big void. I think we need to have somewhere to walk up at lunchtime and somewhere other than, you know, with Macy's, and it is going to be a big void. I think it's going to be
So then where are you going to be shopping now?
I think we'll be going to the malls and not shopping at lunchtime other than maybe just going up to Macy's.
Do you have any fond memories of shopping at Saks?
Sure, it's always fun to go up there, especially the holiday time, to do some shopping.
Are you planning on hosting a fabulous Halloween party for family or friends this year, but are not quite sure how to really get everyone in the spooky spirit of the season? Well, here on Consumer Sense, we have some terrifying tips to make your haunted house party the best on the block. Create the look and feel of an abandoned old house with spider webs, leaves, and white sheets. This includes covering the sofas, chairs, dining room table, and all of the large furniture items with old white sheets. That way we'll also keep everything clean. Purchase a few bags of fake cobwebs. String them over artwork, tables, or bookcases and mirrors. Gather fall leaves and dead or dried flowers from outdoors and place them across the table and countertops. This will make everything look like the window was open and the leaves have just blown into the abandoned house from outside. If you have a candelabra, use it as a dramatic centerpiece. Fill it with dripping red blood candles and decorate with cobwebs and spiders. Use a fog machine. Change your lighting to black light or replace some light bulbs with red bulbs. Add a flickering, eerie glow with tea light candles placed safely around your house. And play creepy Halloween theme music to set the mood. Follow some of these inexpensive, simple decorating tips, and your party will surely be the talk of all the ghouls in your neighborhood. Happy haunting! This week's Moe's Marketing Minute is about MySpace. MySpace is back from the dead. If you haven't heard it by now, then this may come as a true Halloween shock. The internet has just been abuzz about the return of MySpace. The MySpace platform is being relaunched as a curation platform embracing the discoverability of their users and letting them know that they're being valued for their ability to find new gems and trending hits. After digging through years of user data, MySpace execs found that there are significant opportunities for it to capitalize on its power to find and share new talent, and this has become the focus of its rebirth. No longer will MySpace be branded as a place for friends, but as the worldwide leader in internet talent, discovery, showcasing, and development. The new MySpace will have a real-time feel that will allow a user to toggle between what is most relevant to them and live updates for events and messages. Users that exhibit a following or expertise in a specific social trend or entertainment topic can gain curator status, which gives them access to an array of tools for facilitating content discovery and leading fans on a specific subculture. The social network hopes that its new format will enable fans, curators, and entertainers to better connect. This is definitely big news from what was the king of social media only a few years ago. Perhaps it's time to reactivate your old MySpace account and be among the first to see the greatest artists, musicians, and performers of tomorrow. And that's Mo's Marketing Minute for this week. Visit Mo's Southwest Grill in Collier, Robinson, or Market Square. Mo's, home of the popular
Welcome to Mo's!
greeting and pop culture inspired menu and atmosphere. Mo's Southwest Grill is a fun, engaging, fast casual concept serving a wide variety of fresh, made-to-order Southwest fare. Thanks for joining us this week on Consumer Sense. We hope you enjoyed the show. This week's Consumer Sense sensible moments were: Halloween is one of the top retail spending holidays. It's a booming business. But don't be a dummy. Save some money by making your costume and finding some cheap ways to decorate your house to make it look like a haunted house. Everyone, especially seniors, beware of the ghosts of a free meal. Go for the treat of the free lunch, but don't be tricked into a deal where you lose money. Go back in time to MySpace and explore and discover new talent and entertainment. Next week's show will feature Nathan Angles, one of the stars of extreme couponing. He's here to tell us how it really is done and give us a behind-the-scenes look at the show. Make sure you tune into that one. And we'll be talking about Good Taste Pittsburgh, a showcase of food and chefs and Pittsburgh stars. Become a part of the excitement and energy as Consumer Sense educates, entertains, and enriches the consumer experience. Like us on Facebook, Consumer Sense, and follow us on Twitter at Consumer Sense. And check out our website, draudreygusky.com. We include other tips to help you save time and money in the marketplace. And we also have previous shows if you missed any of them. We do hope you tune in every week. I am Kitty Cat. Meow. Oh, I am Dr. Audrey Gusky. Thanks for joining us on Consumer Sense, where we make sense for you.
Happy Halloween!
Perfect.